All right, welcome everybody to our monthly lunch and learn. Thank you for logging on and joining us today. We're so glad that you're here. Let's see. My slides are there we go. We want to give you all the opportunity to introduce yourself. Let us know what community you're joining us from in the state of Missouri. And so if you want to come off mute one by one, I can also pick folks if needed to just let us know who you are and where you're joining us from.
I'm Elaine Campbell, and I'm from Houston, Missouri.
Hi,
I'm
Elaine.
Darla Hoga, and I'm from Callio, Missouri, and I'm the MCB event planner.
I'm Jessica Wallace. I am chair for our Betterment Foundation of Barnard and Guilford in Northwest Missouri.
Hi there, everyone. My name is Kenneth Hibbler. I'm here on behalf of MIMH, Missouri Institute of Mental Health, and I am in St. Louis, Missouri.
I see in the chat that Charlie is joining us from Louisiana, Missouri. She just doesn't have a mic or camera today. How about Cece?
I'm sorry. I'm Cece Spink, and I'm from Callio, Missouri. I am the one that set up the lunch and learns. And Jessica, I'm sorry, which community were you from?
Barnard and Guilford.
Barnard. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
I also see in the chat Michael Richard from Kansas City. What about, let's see, I want to look and see who else is on my screen. Russell. I see in the chat Amari from Aurora, Missouri. I see also in the chat John from Springfield. And you're all good. If you have connection issues or you have mic issues, you can also drop in the chat where you're joining us from. All right. So in addition to you all introducing yourselves, I want to introduce you a little bit to some of the folks involved with Missouri Community Betterment. These are our officers. Brett Dinkins is our president. John Robinson is our vice president, and Jeff Corman is our secretary. Other board members include Elaine Campbell, who's a past president. Tanya Watson is a past president. And then we've got Jennifer Whitson from Steelville, as well as Diana Huckstep from Louisiana, Missouri, Paula McCrae from Maysville, Emily Smith, also from Steelville, and myself. Originally, my office was in Lynn, Missouri, but I'm also from Jefferson City. And then we also have Brenna Brauntrager from Independence. And then we have 3 board assistants, Cece Spink, our executive assistant, Darla Hogue, our event planner, and Vicki Jones, our development associate. And he's already introduced himself, but I want to welcome our speaker today, Kenneth Hibbler from the Missouri Institute of Mental Health. I'm going to turn the time over to him now to kind of chat with you guys and let him share with you guys the great information that he has and the MIMH has to share.
All righty. Thank you, Elizabeth. Can everyone hear me okay? Okay, perfect, perfect. So yeah, just like she was saying, my name is Kenneth Hibbler. I'm here on behalf of Missouri Institute of Mental Health. And what I wanted to talk to you guys about is actually a program that we offer. This is going to be offered to ages 13 through 24. And this is more of a sexual risk avoidance as well as substance and alcohol avoidance as well, while also highlighting different physical attributes that we should be focusing on as far as getting 30 minutes of physical activity a day, as far as eating healthy, and really more so just avoiding negative decisions, so to speak. So very briefly, I'm just going to kind of go over, there we are. I should be able to share my screen here. So what I'm about to show you guys now, this is actually one of the PowerPoint presentations that we teach. This one here is actually for our high school adolescent age students. Of course, like I said, this program ranges from 13 through 24. So we have a young student, a high school student, and then a young adult version as well. And throughout this whole presentation of this is mainly just going to highlight some of the things that we cover as far as the facilitation. So all students complete a health and fitness screening survey. This is more so just to see where they are. Do you already have physical, attributes that you kind of are consistent with? Do you go out for walks for 30 minutes a day? Are you on a sports team? Do you do any physical activity at all? We just kind of gauge them at the beginning to see where they are. Of course, we talk more about other things in this when we get a little bit further, as far as like reinforcing why physical activity is good. Also, for eating habits, we also cover things such as sleeping patterns. We also cover as far as like how alcohol, vaping, and tobacco use can definitely be more harmful to, a lot of students at this age. Just kind of going to quickly run through this. This is going to be a very brief presentation. But yeah, just like I was saying, we'll also kind of highlight the benefits of healthy eating and healthy lifestyle habits. And all of the students that go through this program, the facilitation of the program itself is actually very short. So it's about 1 hour for the facilitation of this, which would be like the portion of the program. And this is mainly just, of course, running through the slides, asking questions, going back and forth with the students. And then another hour will be spent watching a video, which is basically HIV prevention. So it talks about what it is, how to avoid it, how to avoid spreading it if you do have it. And we also cover stigmas about that as well. And we try to make it a little fun with them when we do the video review of the HIV video, because we know sometimes, even though it's only a 20-minute video, sometimes that can get a little boring. Sometimes people can mentally check out. So we have actually broken it down into segments now, where we will break that video into like, we'll watch 3 minutes, then break, and we'll do a review. And we do a trivia style, so that way the kids are more engaged and they're actually having a little fun. So we have like these little fun buzzers that make wacky noises and things like that as well. So the totality of the program is 4 hours. The 2 hours are going to be this and that video. The other 2 hours are going to be entry and also exit surveys. So all students who participate and do a survey will be paid via gift card. These gift cards range between either Amazon or Walmart. And I believe they get about $25 or $30 worth of gift cards from each survey completion that they actually go through. 1 second here. While I am unable to share what the survey would look like. I'm just going to kind of go over, this is our program brochure, just to kind of like reiterate some of the things that I was just sharing with you guys a moment ago. So, of course, this is a free substance use and HIV prevention program for minority youth and young adults from 13 through 24 through St. Louis City and County. Now, this program can be offered virtually. So if you are outside of the St. Louis City or County area, we can also offer this via Zoom. Usually we have more than enough facilitators to hop online. Of course, I want to reiterate that this program is completely free, so there is no charge to any of the groups that we work with. We've worked with schools, churches, youth organizations. We just recently worked with Epworth, which is literally right up the road from us. So this is a facility for homeless youth that usually come in throughout the day during drop-in hours or after hours, and we'll work with them as well. Um, yes, and essentially the goals of this is to obviously decrease substance use, risky sexual behavior, boost the information that's known about substance use and HIV, also confident to impact community health via social media marketing campaigns. And what we mean by that is that each group that we work with, we pretty much come up with a social media marketing campaign, which is something as simple as just like, what type of Instagram post should we put up? So we'll have them kind of do a brief survey, and literally it's just checking between the three options of which social posts. And we talk about it. We talk about what we're trying to get across with this message. And of course, we're working with the students to see like, oh, is this something that you would actually find beneficial if you're scrolling on social media? Would you actually click this? Would you actually want more information on this? So we take a lot of that information into consideration and use that to help build our social media platform based upon what our previous students have selected. So this can be just a couple ideas that have happened prior. So it'll be something talking about the stigma of HIV. It could be something just talking about more students trying to be more physically active. This could also just be about like just random fun facts about HIV that a lot of people wouldn't commonly know. So we'll kind of formulate that into something that looks great and be able to, give the students an opportunity to vote on those things to see, oh, okay, which one resonates with the youth a little bit more, so we can post those things onto our social pages. So ideally, this is the entirety of the program. It's mainly just split between the HIV video as well as that sport portion, which is talking about the physical activity. Our hopes of this, of course, is to educate as many people as we can about HIV, because we're noticing a lot of schools today are no longer carrying like health classes any longer. So a lot of this information is kind of being like lost on our youth, if that makes sense. So of course, we're trying to make sure everyone is fully versed on this, understands this, and also making sure that it's fun for our participants as well. So that honestly should wrap up everything. Oh, wait, I have one more thing that I actually want to share with you guys. I'm very sorry. So of course, while we teach about HIV awareness, we also do a series of different HIV testing events. So we do have a couple dates that will be coming up. As you guys can see, we've already moved past September 6th. Our next one will be September 25th, 2024, and then October 2nd, 2024. Now, these two dates will be on campus at UMSL. This will be at our Millennium Student Center at the top floor in room 314. All of these sessions will be running from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. But this final session that you guys see for October 5th, this one actually will take place at Forest Park. So if you're not able to make it on campus, but you're able to make it to Forest Park, we'd love to see you guys come out. Of course, all of these testing events are free of charge. It's all confidential, so no information is shared or anything like that. And of course, after completing the HIV testing, we provide all participants with free donuts. So if you love a free donut, we'd love to have you guys come by, enjoy some sweets, and know your status as well. But that should actually wrap up about everything for me. Did anyone have any questions or any comments about either the program or even about like maybe the testing events that are coming up soon?
I just want to clarify, did you say there's basically kind of a 4-hour presentation and then about 2 hours total for the survey pieces that go with it?
Oh, so it's actually 4 in totality, surveys included. So 1 hour for entry survey, an hour for the sport portion, an hour for the HIV portion, and one final hour for the exit survey. So usually when working with groups, we can either do single day sessions if they have the full 4 hours allotted. If not, then we'll break that up. So we've done sessions where there literally are only an hour there's only an hour of worth of time available, so we'll break that into 4 different sessions, or even just two, like 2 hour sessions. It's all dependent on like the group that we're working with and their flexibility as far as their schedule. So we're pretty flexible to work around whoever's schedule.
Okay, thanks.
Hmm. Were there any questions, any other questions or comments that anyone had for me?
And this is Cece Spink. I had a question in regards to the registration form. Do you have that? You can send me that link that I can send to people if they request it?
Yes. So typically, whenever there are interested groups, there's not necessarily a form for you guys to fill out, but more so just a meeting with me. So typically, how that would go is for any interested groups, you will reach out to me, either phone, email, however you see fit. We would pretty much just have like a brief like moment where we can meet like this over Zoom or over the phone. The main things that I need to know are just the amount of students, the type of time that is available. So whether or not if this would be like 1 session a week, multiple sessions a week, things like that. And pretty much like registration for this is very, very simple. It's more so just knowing the amount of students, when this is going to take place, and ultimately I pretty much take care of the rest. Like everything else is pretty much handled by me as far as like facilitators, as far as like any extras that we may bring in, as far as like snacks for the participants and things like that. Um, Ultimately we do for the participants that would like to participate in this, there are consent forms to be completed if they're under the age of 18. And that's more so obviously precautionaries for allergy purposes, contact purposes, if in the event that there were, worst case scenario, anything were to go wrong. And typically, I will say we try to, while we're able to work with mostly any size groups, the minimum we usually try to look for is about 10. So typically, if there are 10 students that we can round up together, we're able to facilitate that with no problem. There has been moments where we facilitated with less, but just because this is a, grant funded opportunity, federally funded, we have to meet certain requirements to be able to facilitate. So I think on the lowest, we may have taken like 8 or so, but typically we try to shoot for like that 10, the amount of 10.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Did anyone else have any other questions for me? All righty. Well, yeah,
All
that
right.
should conclude my portion of this.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. If there are any other questions that you can think of, Ken, do you have a good contact information for them to follow up?
Yes, so I am putting my email into the chat right now, and then I'll also put my phone number there just in case anyone has any other questions. Alrighty, so yep, this is my email and my work phone number from the chat.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I am going to kind of go through some of the rest of our chats. Or not our chats, I'm sorry, our slides. This is how you can stay in touch with Missouri Community Betterment. We have our website, mocommunitybetterment.com, and there's a contact us button and to email. And there's our phone number, our YouTube. We put all of these lunch and learns out on YouTube within usually a week or two. We put the recordings out there. So if you want to share with anybody or look up old lunch and learns, those are on there. And then you can also find us on Facebook and in Twitter. Hang on one second before I continue on with that. There's a couple more questions that came up in the chat real quick.
Yes.
One was, will there be gift cards for attendees?
Yes, so all of the participants who fill out the gift card, who fill out the survey will get a gift card. I'm sorry about that. So yeah, as long as because there is an option to opt out of the survey. to not complete it at all. But by opting out, you do opt out of receiving the gift card. But as long as you're actually filling out that survey, you will get a gift card. I see there's another question that's saying, do we go out into the state or is it only in St. Louis? At this moment right now, we only have so many facilitators, myself included. So at this moment, we're maybe focusing on doing in-person sessions in the St. Louis or the St. Louis County area, but we do offer Zoom for those further cities or, you know, other communities that are outside of the St. Louis area. So we're always able to facilitate via Zoom, you know, as long as you guys have either like a smart board or a projector to project upon or a TV screen to put us on, we're usually able to facilitate via Zoom as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
And then I just saw some earlier questions in the chat as well, just asking about incentives. So those incentives would include, of course, like the gift card for completing the surveys. At this moment right now, we're working on doing another shirt order. So typically participants do get a free t-shirt of the program for participating as well. And also for the students that participate, obviously, a lot of times we're working with like middle school or high school age students. So we try to keep it a little interesting as well. So we'll go and have like prize raffles at the end of the class as well. So as long as everyone is there in attendance, their name basically gets entered into a drawing, and we'll, you know, do an online spin wheel or, you know, however we see fit as far as picking people and give out free prizes like, oh, we'll have candy, we'll have headphones, we'll have, you know, different small electronics, maybe small video games and things of that nature that we can give off for free, which of course the students very much enjoy. And then I also see there was a last question about Zoom only for 10 participants. That is more so just for the actual facilitation aspect. Like we do need to hit certain numbers for working with certain groups of that nature. So if you guys are out of the St. Louis area, that will be the minimum that we are looking for is the 10 participants. So of course we have also facilitated bigger groups as well, from as low as 10 to as high to, I believe last spring we rented out a whole lecture hall for Jennings High School, which is based here in St. Louis, and there was about 137, like a little bit under 150 students that we facilitated for at one time. So depending on, you know, the type of group that we're working with, either if you guys are able to come on campus, we can accommodate that way if it's a larger group by renting a lecture hall. If, you know, oh, okay, you're thinking more so sports teams. Yeah, so we could also run this for a sports team as well. Like I said, if you're outside of the St. Louis area, this will, of course, have to be via Zoom. But 100%, we could definitely, whatever the situation is, just pretty much reach out to me and talk to me, and we can find a way to make sure that we can facilitate for you guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Just a reminder, we have our Missouri Community Betterment Better Together Fund. This is a fund that helps us keep the organization sustainable. Missouri Community Betterment has been around for decades and decades. I want to say like 60 years. And this helps us offer things like opportunities to network, like our annual conference, and then these lunch and learns and all kinds of good stuff like that. If you want to know more, there's a little QR code that you can scan. And then speaking of our conference, it's next month is our annual conference. It will be at the big Missouri Farm Bureau building in Jefferson City. You need to register by October 14th. It's $60 for adult, $30 for youth. And you can email darlamcb8@gmail.com for more info. And we hope to see you all there. It's going to be very fun. And then if there's any other questions or follow-up that you have for MCB or for Ken, let us know. Thank you all so much for joining us today.
I think there was one question about getting the survey. They wanted the survey link.
Yep, I'm in the chat now, just checking things out. So typically, once we have a group that we are going to facilitate with, whether this be in person or via Zoom, we typically do not distribute survey links, or typically we do them in person. So we will have physical surveys to fill out. We do have a digital copy as well, but those are not really distributed until the day of the class. So let's say in theory, if this group, like everyone on this meeting was a group and we were meeting via Zoom right now, of course, we would talk about like, the rules of the actual survey, just break down what the survey is expecting of you and everything. And then today, if this was the facilitation, I would have dropped the link in the chat for the survey where everyone can click it and fill it out digitally. But yes, typically these surveys are not available until the first day of facilitation for the program. And then I did see someone else asked, is there a gift card? So yes, as long as that survey is completed by a participant, then they will receive a gift card. There are 3 rounds of surveys. So like I said, you'll do that entry survey on that first day. We'll complete the programming. So go through the sport portion, go through the HIV video. After completing the HIV video, there will be an exit survey. And then usually I believe there is a 3-month follow-up. So 3 months after that survey is completed, we'll reach back out to you guys again, just see how you've retained the information. And then once you complete that survey, the final gift card will be sent to you.
Okay. Well, I have to apologize. I think I had a little different idea as to how this was going to work, but I think that this is definitely a plus for groups that can gather together and get this done.
For sure, for sure. I wish that this would be something where we could work on people on a one-on-one basis, but due to our funding, we have certain stipulations and things like that. So that's why we typically try to, stay within the parameters of like a 10 minimum person group or even larger. As far as who gets the survey results are all going back to our funders. We do not see any of the results as far as like any of the answers or anything like that. We're not to really look at them. I feel like even also when going through the physical copies, we may look more so for completion purposes, but we are not actually looking at the answers that are provided. So
Right.
our funders are actually SAMHSA. So this is a SAMHSA funded grant. So those are the people who actually, fund all of the programs, any extra money that we have for, gifts and prizes and things of that nature. That survey link, if in the event that you are doing this on Zoom, this would be sent via Zoom chat, not necessarily email. So this would be something where, as we're all here right now on this meeting, I would drop the survey link in the chat for everyone to click on. You would complete it, and we're able to see also if this is a digital survey being completed, we can see how many people have done the surveys and completed the surveys.
Okay. Thank
All
you.
right. Well, thank you all so much. I hope you have a great rest of your week.
All right.
Yes.
And yes, if anyone has any other questions or anything like that, as far as like the program or, anything else, I'm going to go ahead and put my email and phone number in the chat one more time. And if in the event that you guys, kind of missed that, Cece and Elizabeth, I believe you both have my contact as well.
Yep.
Thank you, Ken.
All righty. Take care, guys.
You too.